Welcome to the 100th anniversary of the dedication of Christ United Methodist Church here at the corner of Freedom and Broadway in Alliance, Ohio. I'm Jim Greiner, and it is my pleasure to guide you on a brief tour of our church. Building of the church began in 1895. It was completed in 1899, and the sanctuary was dedicated on September 3rd, 1899. The total cost was $80,000. In 1985, the church building was added to the National Historic Register. As we walk into the sanctuary, we are struck by the marvelous view. The sanctuary seats 500 to 750 on the main floor and 250 in the balcony. In 1939, major repairs to the sanctuary were made, making it the way it is today. The ceiling was lowered and changed from the Akron plan to the present lectern and pulpit. To accomplish this, the organ pipes were covered, the woodwork color was changed from golden to dark oak, the choir seating was rearranged, and the organ console was moved to the back of the altar. One of the highlights of the sanctuary is our organ. It is the first organ Hillgreen and Lane, a local organ manufacturer, produced. It was installed in 1898. The pipes were enclosed in 1939. To ensure the quality of the instrument, a major overhaul of the pipes occurred in 1965, and a new console was installed in 1980. We've been blessed with the same wonderful organist for the past 50 years, Leonard Welch. In 1955, the bells in the tower were electrified so they could be played from the organ console. The most recent improvement is the overhaul of the echo organ, which is located over the balcony. The fabulous stained glass windows over the east and south balconies are another highlight of the sanctuary. In 1955, the windows were repaired, with the south window being completely reset. Also, floodlights were installed to illuminate both of the windows. Outside coverings have since been added to preserve the windows from the elements. The area adjoining the sanctuary, now called the lounge, has undergone many changes over the years. Originally, it was called the Sunday School Assembly Room, with adjoining classrooms. The first major change was in 1955, when a chapel for personal or small group worship, weddings, and baptisms was created from a converted classroom. In 1964, refurbishing began to the large Sunday School Assembly Room. The ceiling was lowered 21 feet. 2 classrooms were converted into a much-needed library. Another was changed to a mimeograph room. A kitchenette was provided for small receptions, and the whole room was painted and carpeted. Modern folding doors were added to the balcony classrooms, which today are used by the junior and senior groups and the director of youth ministry. In 1983, after being refurbished, the large 30-day clock was hung in the lounge. Until 1939, the clock hung at the rear of the sanctuary. No tour of this church would be complete without a trip to the bell tower. Steep, dirty stairs lead us to one of the treasures of our church. At Christmas time in 1919, the tower chimes were first heard in a series of concerts. They were dedicated on December 28th. The bells were a gift of Colonel William H. Morgan and Mr. Willis H. Ramsey in memory of loved ones. There are 13 bells in the tower with a total weight of 16,300 pounds. 2 of the bells are heavier than the famous Liberty Bell, which weighs 2,080 pounds. An illuminated revolving cross was also added at the same time. Downstairs, below the sanctuary, is Fellowship Hall. Sunday services were held here in 1898 until the sanctuary was completed in 1899. Originally, it was 3 large rooms and sometimes used as a low-ceiling gym until the community house was built in 1919. In 1949, wood floors were replaced by concrete. The current scout room and fellowship hall was sectioned off. The ladies' parlor was sectioned into 2 rooms, Wesley and Asbury, with a kitchenette to serve both. The former Epworth League room was converted into the Dussel room and hallway, and the main kitchen was remodeled and converted to electric from gas. Since 1960, the Scouts have used 1 room. The Builders class remodeled the Wesley room in 1970. The Friendship 2 class remodeled the Asbury room in 1983. The Crusaders class has made the Dussel room their classroom and have continually made improvements. The kitchen has seen many improvements over the years. Here, innumerable dinners have been prepared, as well as tons of peanut brittle. It has also served as the home kitchen for organizations such as the Stark Wayne Nutrition Site and the Interfaith Daycare. The community house, as it was first called, was built in 1919. In 1960, it underwent a major renovation and became the current education building. Originally, the first floor was the locker rooms and the scout room. The second floor was used for the church office and pastor's study, and children's Sunday school rooms with a narrow hallway. The third floor was a gymnasium, which was used by Alliance High School boys' gym classes until the remodeling. The fourth floor was a balcony around the east and south walls. Today, the first floor is the home of the Interfaith Daycare and youth choir rooms. The second floor is the crib room, primary youth, and the Alliance of Churches office. The third floor is home to the Voyagers and Sojourners adult classes, junior high classes, and the choir room. The fourth floor is the youth hall with stage and kitchen. Today, it is used mostly by the Interfaith Daycare, but has been used for many activities, such as the antique shows that were held here in the early 60s. As part of the 1960 remodeling, the church office and pastor's study were moved from the Broadway entrance to the middle of the church on the second floor. This fine structure has seen many changes and had many faces in the past 100 years. The continual stewardship of its members has made this church a vital part of the community and truly is dedicated to the glory of God.